Welcome everyone to my review of IDW Sonic issue 49. You know, the idea of alternating between the main series and the Imposter Syndrome miniseries each month is good on principle. Don't want to accidentally spoil things before it's time. The execution, though, was not well thought out, especially if you factor in delays. For example, issue 49 was supposed to come out on 4/20, but it was delayed a week. Thankfully, the road to issue 50 is almost over, as we have reached the penultimate issue before the big event. Before I continue, I will be placing my spoiler warning right here. While 49 does lead into 50, it also follows up on a plot thread introduced in Trial by Fire. During that arc, Belle came across a friendly Motobug that helped her out numerous times. At the end of the story, she and Tails wanted to see if they could replicate the friendly coding onto other badniks. Now, let's see this plan in action. At Tails' workshop, the one not in Central City, Belle isolates the non-aggression subroutine from Motobud, the friendly Motobug, and transfers it to a group of badniks in the area. Once completed, a hidden Tails lifts the sheet covering Sonic. Instead of attacking Sonic on sight, the badniks are harmlessly playing around the area. This successful test gives Belle hope that all the badniks can be turned good. Tails is cautious though. With all the weird things that have happened recently, i.e. the forest fire and the Central City power outage, something big is coming that may or may not be Eggman related. Whatever it is, Sonic's confident they can deal with it. That night, Sonic and Tails wake up to the sound of Motobud trying to claw its way out of the house. It attacks Sonic when he tries to get in its way. Motobud's not the only one acting off. A glowing pink-eyed Belle emerges, uttering the phrase "must get out" in a hypnotic tone. Tails suspects that she and Motobud are under a control signal, just like what they were trying to do earlier, only this one is stronger and worse. Tails rushes to his lab to find something to help Belle, while Sonic tries to buy time. This whole sequence plays like a killer doll horror film, only instead of chunky, it's something that resembles a wooden puppet. So, slappy? Motobud pins Sonic, while Belle prepares to stab him with 5 sharp tools from her fingers. Ooh, Go-Go Gadget stab. Tails arrives and slaps the prototype Zeddy Zapper on Belle. Since it was designed to block signals going in and out, Belle's able to return to normal. She reveals Eggman's responsible for the signal, and that he's calling all badniks to a single location. Being isolated from it, she can no longer pinpoint where the badniks are going. Luckily, they still have Motobud. They follow it for a bit before coming across some civilians attacking more mind-controlled badniks. Sonic gets the people out of the way, and they continue following the badniks to the source. The journey takes them to what appears to be the middle of nowhere, until Tails heads up for an aerial view of their destination. An enormous Eggman city with a large tower in the center. Belle wants to stop Motobud from entering the city, with the only options being Sonic doing what he does best, placing the Zeddy Zapper onto it, which will leave Belle vulnerable to the signal again, or Belle deactivating it. They go with option 3. The other badniks react to this action, but as soon as Belle cuts the power, they resume marching towards the city. Belle notices something in Motobud. A note from Mr. Tinker to her. It's basically a final goodbye and telling Belle that he loves her. He knew he was a goner and said that he lived a good life, and the thought of being Dr. Eggman turned his stomach. And if it does turn out to be the case, he is truly and deeply sorry. Belle breaks down, again, and calls herself stupid for trying to make a difference. Sonic quickly points out that she already has. Everything she's experienced, the good memories, the friends she's made, it was all real. All they can do now is move forward together. Belle is ready to do just that. So the three speed off towards Eggman City, not knowing they're running into a trap. Well, we can add a few more tallies to the Let's Make Belle Suffer board. Even she's getting tired of this nonsense. Theirs being mind-controlled by a mysterious signal. It was established back in Test Run that Mr. Tinker subconsciously built Belle with similar coding to the badniks, so like them, she would be vulnerable to the control signal. I wouldn't be surprised if she was made from badnik parts like the kitty rides. She does have metal underneath all that wood. Next is putting down Motobud. Earlier in the issue, there was a panel of Belle cuddling up to her new companion, which makes cutting the power a bit of a gut punch. I like the visual touch with Motobud. It has a flower in its broken antennae when it's good, and when it's under mind control, the flower is gone. Belle being the one to cut Motobud's power was nothing compared to the massive emotional punch in this issue. Belle finding Mr. Tinker's goodbye note to her inside Motobud. I think we can bump Motobud being the same badnik Mr. Tinker modified to 100%. He designed it specifically to carry the note to Belle, even though by his own admission, there's a slim chance she gets it. Given that this is a world where robots like Motobud get smashed all the time, it's understandable. Luckily, Motobud found Belle and fulfilled its purpose. So yes, Mr. Tinker knew he wasn't going to make it. Outside of some magically induced cloning or something, Mr. Tinker is indeed gone for good. These last moments really illustrate how different him and Eggman are. I could see Eggman, knowing that he's 100% a goner, yelling and screaming no with a touch of "I hate that hedgehog." In contrast, after getting mind screwed by Starline, Mr. Tinker accepted his possible demise with dignity. In fact, we saw this already. Mr. Tinker's final moment before Eggman came back is wanting to fix the damaged Metal Sonic. I do have to wonder if these moments in issue 12 were to set up for events like this down the line. Things haven't been all bad for Belle. As Sonic said, she did do some good since joining up with the heroes. See Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C. As a setup to issue 50, this story does a good job at slowly building things up. There is little action, but I think that's the point. They want to save the big stuff for the main event. Still, seeing the Sonic vs. Belle fight is unnerving, especially when she utilizes her pull, tail, and kick ability maliciously. Then again, Evan Stanley wrote and drew this issue, and she's been known to dive into the creepy. She's also known for writing good moments for Sonic and Tails, like when Tails is surprised Sonic wants tacos instead of chili dogs. Now just because a character has a trademark favorite food, doesn't mean they eat it all the time. Garfield doesn't always eat lasagna, the Ninja Turtles don't always eat pizza, and Homer Simpson doesn't always eat donuts. I'm just saying, it's more common than you think. Evan also threw an unexpected game nod here. There's a panel of Sonic asleep on the couch with a book on his face. This time, instead of being transported to a magical storybook world, he speeds off to a city that's filling up with badniks. We get a first real glimpse of Eggman's new city, Eggtropolis. It's a hexagonal design, each of its 6 sections being a different color, and a giant tower in the middle. I like it. Definitely a change from the standard polluted cities the villain used in the past. Then again, we only see it from a distance. The control signal calling the badniks may have originated from Eggman's city, but if you've been keeping up with the Imposter Syndrome miniseries, then you should know who the real culprits are. I'm not kidding when I said Sonic, Tails, and Belle are heading straight for a trap. Next issue, it's time. But before it comes out, there will be one more issue of Imposter Syndrome that'll set up issue 50 from the villain's point of view. Everything is about to come to a head, and I'll see you all then. Hold on, this just came to me. Would Omega be vulnerable to the control signal like Belle, or would he be exempt due to him being an E-Series robot?